Hello everyone, this is Judith Hope and I am so excited to channel messages for you today. Not only is it going to be our full moon in August, but it's actually the Lionsgate portal as well. So this year Lionsgate will be on 8/8 and then the full moon will be on 8/9, right? So one day after another, which means that the full moon is going to be really powerful, potent energy this month. Not that it isn't always that, but even more so this month, right? And I love the Lionsgate portal. I think it's an incredible, phenomenal time to shift timelines, right? To step up to your highest timeline. In fact, I did that a few years ago. I did this like phenomenal meditation where I literally like had these big downloads come through. I like picked like you got to pick like different doors like in your mind's eyes to walk through, right? And I just remember it just like jumped me, like made me like basically like fly off on a rocket like on this new timeline. So I really encourage you guys, definitely use the momentum of the Lionsgate portal, of this energy, right, as you're considering these full moon messages that we are going to channel today. So as normal, I'm going to be channeling these messages directly from the Akashic Records. One update I'm going to be making this time is that normally I kind of talk through like how you know you're a certain type of starseed in these videos, but I'm going to try something new and I'd love to hear how you guys like it. But what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be writing down in the description like the signs that you know, if you're like a Pleiadian starseed or a Lyran starseed or a Andromedan starseed. I'm going to put those characteristics below. So as I'm going through channeling the messages, you can just kind of go and check in the description like, oh, like if I'm a Lyran starseed, you know, I might be more of a cat person, or, you know, if I'm an Andromedan starseed, I'm more adventurous, like things like that. So you can kind of figure out, you know, which message, you know, is meant for you. And it's interesting too, because sometimes the message is meant for you is the one that resonates the most. So say you're maybe, you know, a serious starseed, and then, you know, the Lyran messages are really resonating with you this month. I mean, that could be for a number of reasons, but most of us have had past lives on a lot of these different star systems. Like there's very few of us who've only been like in one star system. So maybe those things, those past lives from, you know, another star system that's not kind of your main one are resonating more this month, and that's okay, right? So I just encourage you, listen to all the messages and kind of just see and feel through like that one's for me, because you'll know, right? You'll have that inner knowing as you listen, you'll know. So with that, I'm also going to list a couple more links below, some of the freebies I have, as well as all the different sessions I offer. But first, I'm going to ask everyone, please like this video and please subscribe as well so I can keep making more of this content. So with that being said, let's get into the messages. I believe I'm going to start, I look at the same list every time and I always try to start in opposite order. So let's start with our Andromedan galaxy and Andromedan constellation starseeds. Let's start with the messages for you guys this month. So I'm just going to drop in and see what you guys have going on this month. So this month feels like there's a lot of potential. It's interesting I said this month because it's actually, you know, full moon Lionsgate period, but it seems like the month is coming up quite a bit here. And so this upcoming month, there's a lot of potential for Andromedan starseed. So definitely with heart expansion, there's a lot coming through. But it's time to like, you're going to start seeing more momentum. Whatever's going on in your life, you're going to see more momentum. It's like, okay, we're about to go on like a horse ride. We're going to mount the horse and the horse is going to take off. That's what it feels like. So I know a lot of you have like goals and certain things you've been working towards. This is a month you're going to see the energy start to shift and like things start to take off, which is really good. It feels like a lot of things have had to be processed. Anger is coming up as something that had to be processed in relation to these goals you've been working on. So this anger had to kind of be processed and released, and now that it has, it kind of means you can move forward with a little bit more speed than you had in the past. So it feels like there's just going to be a lot of momentum for an Andromedan starseeds this month. So just enjoy the ride. I'm seeing like the 8 of Wands card, right, which is that movement. So you guys are just going to be moving really fast. A lot of things are going to happen this month. So just be prepared for like an intense August is what I'm hearing. So this is going to be like a very intense August for you guys. So that's super exciting. And yeah, so they're telling me I can kind of move on to the next starseed type. So we're going to move on to the Lyrans. And we're going to start with our Lyrans. Some messages for the Vegans may come in as well. So the Lyrans and the Vegans were the first two sets of humans in our galaxy, right? So sometimes they're kind of like related or tied together. But a lot of people, you know, typically may have lineage with, you know, one or the other, but a lot of people have lineage with both as well. So if you're Lyran or Vegan, or you're Lyran and a Vegan, which I have history with both myself, these messages, you know, are for you. So let's kind of tap in what we got going on for the Lyrans and the Vegans. So you guys are actually more about release over this 2-week period, right? It's about releasing emotions. A lot of you have had stuff happen recently and you haven't released your emotions. Like there's just things you guys haven't dealt with. So it's time to start dealing with those things, right? When they come up, it's time to look them in the face and say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, but I'm going to let you go, right? So it sounds kind of like that, you know, typical like emotional processing, like I'm going to release things, I'm going to look at them, I'm going to honor them, right? Because we can't, you know, we can't do spiritual bypassing, right? Where it's like we kind of know something, but we're like, no, I don't want to look at it or think about it. I'm just going to kind of move past it. We have to move through things. And so right now, you guys are going to be, Lyrans and Vegans are going to be moving through a lot. And that's okay because that's exactly what you need to do to move your timeline forward, right? So like I mentioned with this Lionsgate portal, we do have the ability to move the timeline forward, to jump timelines, right? To really shift the energy. And so for Lyran and Vegans, you guys are going to be doing that. And the way you're going to be doing it is through processing things internally, right? Letting things go, empowering yourself to get into the next vibration. So it's going to be a shaky 2-week period because a lot's going to come up and you're going to have to deal with it. But the better that you deal with it and the more you just embrace, like, yeah, it sucks right now, but I'm just going to do it anyway, like the better it's going to be, right? So it's like make haste, like let's do it, let's get through it, and then in 2 weeks things are going to be better. Like that's the message that I'm getting for the Lyrans and the Vegans. So yeah. And they're saying that is complete as well. Before I move on to our serious Starseeds, I do want to note that I did release some free sticker printables. So I don't know if you guys like stickers. I love stickers. If you look at my previous video I did right before this one, I actually walked through my planner and you can see all of my stickers. And so I actually created some stickers using AI, and right now they're just in printable format. So you can download them, you can actually print them out and make them into stickers, which I am hoping to do shortly. Or you can just use them as like background on your like computer or your phone, or however you want to use it. Maybe you make your own reels and you want to use it as a background on one of your reels, you know, something like that. So the link for the free stickers is going to be below, so make sure you go and check that out. All right, now we will get to our serious Starseeds. So I'm going to tap in, and they're immediately showing me the Sirius bird being genetics are coming up. So on Sirius A, there were a lot of like bird humanoids, and they are showing me that. And so they're showing me this bird humanoid looking thing that is, and Sirius was mainly a water planet. So there's always a lot of like mer people and mermaids on Sirius. I see that a lot when I do past life channeling for my clients. And so it's kind of saying that, and the mermaids are more on Sirius B, while the bird beings are more on Sirius A. So it's showing me this like a bird being from Sirius A going to a water planet on Sirius B, and kind of showing him kind of like, I do feel like he's a male, kind of like looking around and poking his things, maybe not necessarily where he doesn't belong, but where he's not familiar with. Like he's curious and he wants to know more, but it's not necessarily a place that he normally is. And this is what's going to be going on with a lot of you serious Starseeds for the next few weeks. So you're going to be curious and you're going to be kind of exploring things that you haven't explored before, the places that you don't normally go. And it's okay, but you need to be careful. It feels like you need to tread lightly in some places, and you really need to be tactful, right? Because I think there are some situations where if this is resonating, like you're worried that maybe you'll step on someone's toes or something could happen, like there is a chance of that. And I don't say that to fearmonger or to frighten you, but just to say like there is a chance. So you need to be tactful and you need to tread lightly about how you have certain conversations. Like for example, if you're asking your boss for a raise, like you need to be very tactful about it, like that type of thing, right? So nothing to be afraid of, but something that maybe you'll screw up a relationship or cause damage to a relationship that might take some time to recover, right? So it's like being careful about what you say, like making sure you're phrasing things correctly, making sure you're kind of going into any conversations or sensitive situations with a plan as to how you're going to negotiate something, ask something, how you're going to be able to kind of like handle the situation, right? Not going in blind, like really putting prep time into like some of the tasks and conversations that you're having right now, right? So it's about really being careful and not jumping into things. Also observing, making sure observing beforehand and kind of know the lay of the land, the situation, because a lot of these situations you guys are going to be in is not going to be your like normal situation that you're just like feel very comfortable in and you know what's going on. It's like you kind of need to like learn a little bit more about the situation before progressing. So do your research, right? Take time to figure out what you're going to say before you say it. Don't jump into anything. Like exercise caution here is like kind of the biggest biggest message that I'm getting. So okay, so that's it for our serious Starseeds. I'd be curious to hear about what situations you guys are in. If that's helpful for you as you go through, you know, the next 2 weeks this month, please drop it in the comments. I would love to get any feedback you guys have about how these messages like help you out in certain life situations. All right, oops, sorry. All right, so for our Pleiadian Starseed, let's tap in. Okay. So our Pleiadian Starseeds, it feels like you guys are on some kind of mission. You're trying to get something done, trying to accomplish something, and you're kind of getting ready to go, is what it feels like, right? And it feels like these are situations with two parties. So it feels like there's situations of like trying to understand what the other party is doing, or kind of get ahead of the other party, or map out what the other party is doing. But it seems like you have some kind of goal that the other party also wants or is involved with. So there's a lot of like sharpening your tools and planning during this next stage for the Pleiadian Starseeds. And so for the Pleiadian Starseeds, it's going to be important, whatever situation you're in, you need to work as a team and be a team player. Like, stay firm in your opinions, what you believe and things like that, but it's like you also need to be open to understanding the situation from a more holistic level, and not getting kind of lost in your own like thoughts, feelings, actions, ways of thinking, but being kind of open to seeing the greater picture, because teamwork is going to be really, really important here. Like, you can't let the team like implode because like two people are fighting or there's two factions within a team or people aren't seeing eye to eye. It's going to be very important, like if you're a Pleiadian Starseed right now and you're working on some kind of initiative within a team, to not let the team dismantle itself, let the team implode itself, because there is some energy there, is what I'm seeing. Like, things could go awry, and it's really important that things don't go awry, because what you guys are working on feels very important. Feels like a lot of life lessons to learn. So also, if you do feel like you are getting into conflicts or like struggling with certain things right now, it's not your fault. Like, this is by design, right? You are supposed to learn this stuff. It's meant to be tough, but you're also meant to persevere. So don't get too much in your own head or your own mind, or thinking what you think, feel, believe in is right and that other people aren't right, because teamwork is going to be extremely, extremely important for the Pleiadian Starseeds. Just trying to see if there's anything else here. No, that's it. Like, the results of whatever you're working on, it'll be like within the next 2 moon periods. It's not going to be this period. It's really just prep and stuff. And so that's why the focus right now is going to be like working on the team dynamics and things like that, because like there aren't really going to be results. Not much. Not, you can see like there'll be some status updates and things like that. And there may be some new information coming through, but there's not going to be a lot of like results or conclusions during this 2-week period. So it really is a focus on the team dynamics. So pretty cool. All right, so that's another one, like very situational. Let me know, you guys, in the comments if this does come up and how you work through it and how this advice helped you work through it below. All right, so let's get to our Arcturian Starseeds. What do Arcturian Starseeds have going on, during this full moon? So kind of feels like you're taking a break from a sticky situation, or like you're pulling yourself out of more like a dense or a sticky situation. Maybe something's been going on for a while in your job or home life, and now you're able to kind of take a break. Also feels like a break. It just feels like a break in between two things, like maybe like some situation you were in, but then you're stepping into like a new phase or a new situation, whether it's a job or a life situation, something like that. Kind of feels like a moment in between. Definitely feels like a moment for inner reflection, reassessment, and recalibration, right? So like you're going to be reassessing things during this period, figuring out, okay, like what are the next steps? Like what are the known factors? Like certain things, like maybe you're moving into a new house, like you've already sold your old house, you've already bought the new house, you know you're moving in, like the decision's been made, but it's like what's coming, right? Or maybe if you're pregnant and you're about to have a kid, you know, it's like, okay, like I know the kid is coming, so like what's the planning, right? And it's like it's kind of like taking like this pause, this time when nothing is happening, to really kind of just like settle in and muse and think about stuff and just allow some downloads to come through, right? So it's just kind of like pausing, taking a pause, relaxing, and just letting this information come through. Because it does feel like there are some messages and things that want to come through for those of you listening that are Arcturian. Like there are some things that like in this next stage of life you haven't been considering that they want you to consider. So taking a pause will allow that information to come through. In general, it feels pretty peaceful these next 2 weeks for you. It feels like it's inner reflection, right? And I think coming off of the Lionsgate portal is going to be why that is so important, because you kind of have shifted, right? You know, if you've shifted into this new timeline, it's like, okay, now I've got to kind of reflect on some things and just allowing that space for some of this new information to come through. Let me see if there's anything else for Arcturians. Okay, that's it. So yeah, so Arcturians definitely, you know, meditation, relaxing, just like being outside by the pool and things like that, or by a body of water, or just hanging out like somewhere where you can just rest, relax, recoup, and allow that information to come through. Seems very, very important. All right. And lastly, we have one more Starseed group. If you really want to truly know your galactic soul origin and where you came from, like where your soul originated at, like at what point you started incarnating, where you had your last life before coming to Earth, how many lives you've been on Earth, I do offer a soul origin and life purpose reading. So we go into all of that. We go into why your soul wanted to be here and wanted to have a human experience in the first place, like what you're supposed to be learning here, what your mission is. And so I really enjoy doing that reading with clients, and I feel like they walk away a lot of times with a lot of clarity. So if you are interested in that, the link below, you'll see that session as well as a bunch of other sessions, but I did just want to mention that in case you want to check it out. Now, let's go to our last Starseed type, the Orion Starseeds, and see what messages we have for our Orion Starseeds today. It's interesting, the image I go in that they're showing me is like a bunch of cavemen hunting dinosaurs, specifically Tyrannosaurus Rex. Interesting. It feels like it's kind of about like taming the beast is what it looks like. But then also there's like this feeling of knowing something is bigger than you. So the caveman knows that the T-Rex is bigger than them. And they have options. So they can either hide from the T-Rex and try to escape it, or they can try to mount the T-Rex like a horse and try to control it, right? Like, obviously the T-Rex is going to be stronger than a person. It's going to be able to crush them, run over them, unalive someone. It's going to be able to do any of that, right? But the human is a little bit craftier. So how does the human get away in this situation? What are the options, right? You're at this pause, this moment in time, Orion Starseeds, where you have options. You're up against something that is bigger than you and could crush you and hurt you, right? Whether that's a situation, money is coming up, like some type of money situation, maybe like a job situation, a family situation, maybe a legal situation, right? Like there's some type of situation coming up that could crush you, but you have options about how you go about it, and you can win, right? Because how many times have humans domesticated animals that are bigger than them, right? And they're able to control the situation, right? And I know that's not a good example, because I don't even agree with, the domesticating animals and stuff, but it's like a good example to describe something, right? And so you have options, and you can win. You can get yourself out of this situation. It's like you're gonna have to be tactful about it, and you're gonna have to be mindful about it, right? And again, it's about using that Lionsgate energy, right? Like if you tap into that Lionsgate energy right now, like you really can shift your timeline, right? You can overcome this stuff. It feels huge. Like if a Tyrannosaurus Rex was standing in front of you, you feel like, oh, I'm done for, right? But in Jurassic Park, they never are. They always figure out a way, right? And so I think this is a time for you guys, Orion Starseeds, like you are going to figure out a way. You have multiple options. You can be tactful about it. It's just finding that inner courage inside yourself to do so, right? It's like using your resources, finding your inner courage, and not letting you tell and not letting anyone tell you the situation is over before it is, or you can't do something, or it's impossible, right? Like there are always going to be people with limited beliefs like that, right? The more in the matrix we are, the more limited beliefs we have. So if you're going towards people who are very much in the matrix and you know they don't think that there's a way out of things, they're like, oh no, the big corporate guy is gonna always win, or the guy with the biggest pockets is always gonna win, like that is not going to be who you're gonna want to listen to in these situations, because you can win, right? Like you just have to be crafty, clever, and you have to believe in yourself that you can win and use every resource that you have. So Ryan Starseeds, if you're in this situation, I believe in you. I believe you can do it and you can figure it out. This message would not be coming through without a reason. So I'm just going to tap in and see if there's anything else for Orion Starseeds. Just keep moving and keep going too. It's like keep moving, keep going. Like things are rough right now, but you are going to get yourself out of the situation. So keep moving. You're going to figure out. You're going to do it. You're going to be okay. All right. So that is the conclusion of the message for Orion Starseeds. So with that, I'm just going to tap in and see if there are any closing messages. No, they're saying we're good. Everyone who, you know, is listening has heard what they need to hear today. So it was such a blessing, such a wonderful thing to deliver these messages for you. I hope everyone had an amazing Lionsgate 2025 and an amazing August full moon. Like I said, please hit subscribe, please like this video, and please check out all of my freebies. I also have a free third eye activation meditation as well, so definitely check that out below if you want to activate your third eye, if you want to use your psychic abilities and your clairsenses more, if you want stickers. I mentioned I have those free sticker printables, and then I also have a million different ways we can work together. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to work with me, you want to understand your starseed type or talk to your star family, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you want to do an Akashic business audit, I'm also a CPA, and I've audited people for a living basically my entire career. So I definitely can help you figure out the next steps in your business, what's working, what's not working, right? From both that logical auditor mindset and then my ability to channel intuitive guidance as well. So I hope to work with you all soon, and thank you so much. Happy Lionsgate, everyone, and happy summer. Happy August. Bye, guys.